Hello and welcome to videorecipebook.com, an exciting and new website which shows you how to cook hotel or restaurant style food in the comfort of your own home. Now there's lots of websites where you can do cookery courses. Some of these might have 2 starters, 4 main course, 2 desserts. As well, these courses can be very expensive. For example, you might like pork or lamb. Now pork or lamb could be a main course dish on one of these courses, maybe not. But you could pay a lot of money for courses and you might even like some of the food that's on the course. On videorecipebook.com, you pick and choose what you want to learn how to cook. In today's cooking lesson, I'm going to be showing you how to make lemon cheesecake. Now for the lemon cheesecake, what you're going to need is 2.5 to 3 whole lemons. You want 400 grams of digestive biscuits. You want to put them in a blender, a little small electric blender to blend them all up. As well, you're going to need 6 ounces of butter, 8 ounces of cream cheese, Philadelphia or any type of cream cheese at all. Leaf gelatine as well. You can buy it in leaf form or you can buy it in the powder form, but these leaves, you know, there are 4 of them. You want to dissolve that in hot water, but just make sure the water is not boiling, because if the water is boiling, the gelatine is not going to set. You can't boil the gelatin. Just have the water, just bring it to the boil, take it off the heat, the pot of water, and then add the gelatine to it. As well, you're going to need an electric blender to whip your cream, which I already have done here. The first thing you want to do is your biscuits, which I have here. Most of them already done. Now the electric blender I have, you just, the last remainder of the biscuits, just break them up into small pieces. Put them into the blender and just blend them up. You don't have to use digestive, but usually is a digestive biscuit is what you're going to use in the cheesecake. If you want to use a different biscuit, a plain biscuit, you can. That's all the biscuits blended up. What we do now is the 6 ounces of butter, we melt that in a pot and we'll add the biscuits to it when it's all melted. Now don't use margarine or a dairy spread, because margarine or dairy spread is soft. Even in the fridge it's not going to be that hard. So the biscuit base on your cheesecake is going to be all crumbly when you cut into it. With the butter, when it's cold, it goes hard. So your biscuit base is going to stay intact in one piece. As with the margarine or dairy spread, it's going to be too soft and your base is just going to crumble up. So we just melt this in a pot. Now with the butter melted here in a pot, there's no point in transferring this to the bowl and getting the bowl dirty as well. You may as well just use the pot. And your biscuits you have, when you put through the blender, you just add this to the butter. And we'll just mix it all up. There's a whole packet of biscuits there, or else 14 grams, 16 ounces. Just give that a good mix. Now at first you might think there's enough butter because it seems a little bit dry, but you'd be surprised when you mix that for a couple of minutes, you'll see how wet it gets. And we'll transfer this into a round spring-loaded tin. Now basically a spring-loaded tin is a tin that just has like a spring on the side, so you can open it and the base falls out. That way you get to get your cheesecake out of the tin afterwards. Now that's all pretty mixed up there now. Now I've seen some people before making cheesecakes and they grease the bottom of the tin. Don't ask me why they do this, because there's enough grease in the butter in the biscuit anyway. It's not going to stick to the base. This is basically a spring-loaded tin. The base just falls out. And this just pulls apart. If you haven't got one of these, it'd be well worth buying one. They're not that expensive, really. A couple of euro, a couple of dollars. So when your cheesecake is set, you just run a thin sharp knife around the edge and then just pop the spring and then just lift the sides off. This now we'll transfer the biscuit into the tin. This is being thoroughly mixed. What we do now is just tin a bit of shake, just spread out the biscuits, which is all fairly even. With your hand, now make sure your hands are very clean, that's been washed. Just press the biscuit down to make it all compact. Keep your fingers against the edge of the tin and just turn the tin slowly. That way you get all around the edges. Press down nice and firm. Now that's that done there now. What we do with that is we just put that in the fridge for about 10 minutes while we do the rest of the mixture. Now for the rest of the mixture, what we do is we'll have a mixing bowl with our cream cheese. We get our lemons and you get a grater. Now you get the fine side of the grater. This side here. We use this side for the skin. So just grate this into the cream cheese. So the zest off the lemon gives it a lovely flavour. We do the same with the other one. Very quick and easy to make a cheesecake. If you've never done any cakes before or any cheesecakes, don't be afraid to try it. Just follow the instructions in the method step by step and just follow the video step by step. It's always easier when somebody's showing you. Just grate all in. Now what you want to do then is up on the inside of the grater with a knife. Just scrape the inside of the knife as well the other side. Give it a bit of a tap. As you can see there are the lemon zest. Next what we do is cut the lemon in half. Cut the other one in half as well. This one here is just for decorating the cake when it's finished. So we leave that to one side. Now what we do now with a fork is just stick into the half piece of lemon, squeeze the lemon and twist at the same time as well. To get all the juice out. Now just watch for the pips. Stick the fork in, just twist the fork and squeeze the lemon at the same time. This is the quickest and easiest way to get the juice out of the lemon. As I said, just be careful with the pips. You can pick up the pips out with the fork when you fall in. If there's any on the surface, just remove them before you squeeze it. So there's 2 small lemons out there now, which is enough. As well, what we need is about 100 grams of caster sugar. We put that in with the cream cheese as well now. Now we're going to cream all this with an electric blend, but before we do that, what we do is we get the hot water in the pot, which is it just started to boil and take it off, and you add in the beef gelatine one at a time. Because you don't want the water too hot going into the mixture. So we dissolve this and we leave it to one side for a few minutes. Just with a whisk, you whisk around. Now if you find that the gelatine is not dissolved into the hot water, just put it back in the cooker for a minute. Don't boil it up. So use 4 of these leaves, or if they're small leaves, use maybe 6. Usually on the packet of gelatine will give you instructions how many sachets of the granules you need or how many leaves you need. I'm just doing the last leaf there now. We'll just whisk that a little bit. We'll just dissolve that and leave that to one side. Now what we're going to do now is just cream the cheese and get it nice and soft. Start off on low speed, so it's going to splash it over you. Then fire it up. Just get all the lumps out. Now what we do is we get our whipped cream and we add this to the creamed cheese. Shows you use a spatula. It's easy to get the cream off around the edges. Just scrape off onto the mixer. Just on a low speed as well. And then what we do is we get our gelatine. The gelatine which has been dissolved. On a low speed as well, just pour that in. That's basically your mixture done now. What we do is then we put this back into the tin. Just with the spatula, just go around the edges. Just make sure you haven't missed any bits of cream or cream cheese. And just give it a little mix. We'll just pour that in. You might think it's very thin or very watery. Don't worry, once this goes in the fridge after a couple of hours, this will set. You want to give this about 3 to 4 hours to set in your fridge. Depends on how cold your fridge is as well. Now that's all the tin, just give it a bit of a shake. Just the tin from side to side, that just do it kind of quick. A little tap. And that's your cheesecake done. What we do now is we'll put this in the fridge 2 to 3 to 4 hours, depending on how cold the fridge is. And then when it's done, we mark it out into 12 sections and we decorate with little bits of lemon. Now this last lemon for the cheesecake, what we do is just cut the end off, cut the other end off, just stand up on its end and then cut it down to the centre. With this piece just lay it flat and cut it down to the centre again. Just turn around and we just cut these tin pieces. The end piece we won't use, the next one yeah. What we do is we cut up approximately 12 of these. Small little triangles. What we'll do is we mark the cheesecake on the 12 sections. We put a little piece of these in each. So once the cheesecake is set, we can put these on top. Now the cheesecake's been in the fridge just under 3 hours, so it should be ready now. What we do first, before you open up the spring on the ring, get a small sharp knife and just press it down and hold it in against the edge at a slight angle. And just turn it. Hold the knife steady, but just turn the tin slowly. Just cut all the way around the edge. Now you don't need to cut into the biscuit, just the cheesecake is all I want to cut out. But the base, you don't need to cut all around the edge. Now what we do is we just open the tin. Just open slowly as well. And there you go. There's lemon cheesecake. Now what we do is to decorate the top. Before we put the lemon on, just mark out the top. So you put the knife roughly halfway, make a line. Make another line. So you have 4 quarters. What you do is you cut each quarter in half then. And then you cut them in half again. You cut this quarter in half. Now you've got 3 quarters left. So you cut the quarter in half. Just mark it. Cut that in half again. And this piece, just cut that in half again. What I do here is just cut this in half again. And then cut in half again. So each quarter you cut into 4. That way you're left with 16 portions. Now if you want, you can make the portions bigger. So instead of cutting the quarter in half, you just cut it to 3. So you mark it, and mark it. So you just mark it twice, the quarter. That way you'll have 12 portions, they'll be bigger. You just mark it halfway. This is for the smaller portions. And mark it halfway again. Mark it halfway again. As I said, if you want the larger portions, the quarter, when you have it marked out, just cut that into 3 pieces. And what we do here with lemon, which we've done earlier, You know what we do? We just put the lemon on top, like so. The next piece. You can actually just stick it down into it. Just work your way all the way around. You're sticking a bit of lemon and you want to get a bit of the skin because it's firm. Push it down into it. As well, now I'm going to show you how to decorate a plate. Just a simple little decoration. All you need is just a fruit coulis for decorating the plate. That there is basically just a straightforward and easy lemon cheesecake. What we're going to do is cut up a portion. The best thing to do when you are cutting it, just run the knife under a hot tap. Make sure the blade is nice and clean. Shake off any excess water. And just cut down into the cheesecake. Just give it a little quick rinse again. This way you get a nice clean cut. Because if you don't rinse it, what happens is you get all bits of biscuit and all on the top here, in between the cut. This way by rinsing the knife you get a nice clean cut. Now for the plate. You get a bit of fruit coulis. This fruit coulis I have here is strawberry coulis. A little teaspoon. There's recipes for this in the dessert section as well. You can make all sorts of coulis, raspberry, mango, passion fruit. And they're all pretty much the same recipe, it's just a different fruit. Quantities and everything's the same. So you put a little dribble here. A little dribble here. And you get 2 cocktail sticks, put them together. Start in the centre and push outwards. Just start in the centre and push outwards. Just do a little design on the plate. Just something quick and easy to do. If you want to try and impress family or friends, or you're having a dinner party, trying to impress neighbours, or just put this down in the centre. And that there is just lemon cheesecake. I hope you enjoyed your cooking lesson with me today, and I hope you join me again soon at videorecipe book.com.